All right, so we've dealt with installing Visual Grasp 4, we've dealt with migrating your data. I'm going to show you a couple of quick new features that you need to be aware of that are really make the program a lot easier to use. And as well, I'm going to cover how you license the product once you purchase a license key and how you install that and how licensing works. So I'm just going to go and double click on my Visual Grasp icon again, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to select a company code that already exists. I'm actually going to pick the demo data, and what I want to talk about is that in prior versions we did not force users to have passwords. In this case I'm going to log in as the administrator, and in our demo data to start with, our administrator does not have a password. You'll notice with this screen that comes up here, it's forcing us to set ourselves a password. So I'm going to click OK, and I'm just going to type in ADM again as the password. Passwords can be up to 6 characters alphanumeric in length. Once I've put the password that I wish to have this in here, I would click on the Save button. It tells me that my password has changed, and then it tells me that I need to log in again. So I'm going to type my new password into the password field and log in. So this is now our main menu, and you'll notice it here on the left-hand side of the screen. As I open different windows, you'll notice that they pop over to the right-hand side. The menu stays permanently anchored to the left-hand side of the screen. Very quickly, if you are going to license the product, or if you have keys, this icon down at the bottom, it's the little hand with the pen, will take you into licensing. You need to be logged in as the ADM user to get to this screen, and once you are, you can click on it and it will open up your licensing screen as you see here. I've already licensed this product, and I've licensed as I mentioned, we've gone to centralized licensing, so I've installed 4 licenses in this location. You can see that they're called tokens, so if you've got 10 licenses, you can put them all into a single license location as 10 tokens, and that will allow up to 10 people simultaneously to enter the program. If I wanted to add a license or add a new token, I simply click on the Add a Token button here, and you'll see that it's now created a new token. In this case, it's token number 5. And if I have a license key over on this right-hand side of the screen, I can slide down. I can pick that token. You'll notice it's serial number 0. I can come in here and I can fill out this form with all the information that's needed and activate it by typing in a product key here. Once I've done that and clicked activate, then I've got 5 live licenses on my machine, on my computer here. Anyway, I'm just going to close that window here. It tells you when you're done, you should exit out of Visual Grasp, just so it frees all those licenses up for anybody who's trying to use them. In this case, I'm not going to bother doing that, but that's certainly something you should do. So back to the main menu here on the left-hand side of the screen. The menu itself has changed dramatically, and if I were to click on the Open Menu button, actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to exit out of here, and I'm going to go back in again. Maybe I will want to free up those licenses. I'm going to go back to my demo data. I'm going to log in one more time. Here we go. And now when I go to this button here, this opens up my menu. So before we're on Visual Grasp 3, where you had let's just open Visual Grasp 3 and we'll get a quick look at that as well, where you had big buttons to represent, one for General Ledger, one for AR, and so on and so forth. Basically, under Visual Grasp 3, you click here to go to General Ledger, here to go Accounts Receivable, here to go to Accounts Payable, and so on and so forth. Then each of the menus would get deeper as you dug into it like that. In Visual Grasp 4, all the menus appear here, and you drill down through them by clicking on the plus sign that's beside an option. So if there's a plus sign, it means that there's more options. So if I want to go in, for example, to my Accounts Receivable, I click on this plus sign and it expands, and then if I want to go to Maintenance, I click on the plus sign, and then if I want to maintain my customers, I would click on this one. These are the same menu choices that you had under Visual Grasp 3. They are just presented differently, and you'll see when I click on it, it opens up to the right of my menu. Just going to close that for a minute. Another way that you can get there is by using this quick link box, and you can either put your cursor in there, or at any time, if you're anywhere else, you can press the F11 key on your keyboard and it will return you to there. If you're familiar with the keystrokes on the main menu, you just type them in here. So for example, that same screen to get to the maintain customers was 231, and I press enter and it opens up the same screen. So while you can still use the menu, if you're using screens constantly over and over, you will likely get familiar with what these quick links are. For example, to print a trial balance, that's 1311, and it opens up the screen here. What you'll also notice is the screens now grow and fill up the length of your screen. In future versions, we will allow some of these areas of the screens to grow as well. But that's not active in the one that we've done this video on, but it is coming shortly. Back to the main menu here, it tells you at the top your license information, the company, and it shows you only show what you're licensed for. If you want to show all of the program features, even your unlicensed ones, to try out perhaps a different module that you might not be licensed for, you can select this option. It will put you into evaluation mode for this session and this session only. Furthermore, this is known as the legacy mode of the menu. If you want to go and see it in category view, which is brand new, you would click here, and it basically regenerates the menu by showing you all of the items that you use when you're setting up your data, all of the items that you use when you're maintaining the data or entering data, so on and so forth, reporting, and so on. Personally, my preference is still the legacy menu, and that seems to work fine. Also, on one of the big changes here in the software is the ability to move among different fiscal years. So in our demo data here, for example, I now have, if I click on this, you'll see I've got 3 fiscal years I can access. I can access January to December 2009, January 2010 to December 2010, and January 2011 to December 2011. Very simply, if I want to change the year, I just select on the year that I want to move to, and it asks me to confirm that I wish to do that, and it makes sure that I can move there by making sure it can close all the screens. If I'm partway through a posting, it won't allow me to do that. So in terms of what you can do now when I go to my menu and I want to print, say, under my general ledger, or if I want to print any of my journals or my ledgers or my trial balance, they are all going to be printed for the fiscal year that you see down here. Now, same thing if I now want to see what was done on fiscal year 1, I can switch to this one, and I can post and I can print reports from that year. As well, I can post to that year very simply now. If I make a posting in here, I can post back in 2009 as long as that date is open. Here you'll see, if I test this, I don't even, let's call up here. Okay, I've effectively posted into 2009 now because that's the year I've told it I'm working in. As administrator, I can go into this menu option here, which is 1494, okay, maintain company profile, and I can set what the default year is that I want my staff to be working on. So if I want them, when they log in, to default to go into year number 2, that's how I would set that here. Next time a person logs in, their default current fiscal year will be the second year, which in our demo is 2010. And to set up a new year or to stop allowing anybody to post to it, I can come in here. So here's the years that I've set up. If I go into year number 1, for example, I can close it, which will disallow any further postings to be made into that year. Furthermore, if I'm ready to set up a new fiscal year, there is no more year end on the program. All I do is I create that I want to allow a new fiscal year to exist. And now you'll see under my codes I can now move between any one of these 4 years that are set up. So as time goes on, you can see you can move back and forth between historical years easy enough and close them, which means that you can still print reports, you just won't be able to post to them. So that's a very powerful feature of Visual Grasp 4 that did not exist before, that you will make a lot of use of. The other thing we have up here is you can see you can log out really quickly from Visual Grasp up here and log back in just as simply by typing there. I can log in and out like that. Well, that's most of the tour. There's quite a bit to be seen in the program. Once again, I find using this quick links, you'll find that there's no more pull down tools at the top. But once you learn those quick links, which are here and also down here, you'll notice some of them. So, for example, I use this one quite a bit, J84, to view GL details. So if I go to J84 and press enter, that opens up my GL detail. I'm going to move my fiscal year back here because now I want to see the GL detail for 2009. I'm going to type J84, press enter, and now I can type in any account, but I want to go and see my petty cash, and by default it shows all periods, and this is a new function as well. If I only want to see postings to an account for a particular period, I can select it off this list and it will shorten the display down for me. Anyway, that's a very quick overview of some of the changes that are in Visual Grasp 4. Hope you enjoy the changes. Thanks very much.